Kia ora koutou and welcome to South Pacific Muscle. Today we are joined by Paris, and Paris is training out of Auckland in North Shore, I believe, still North Shore?
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And Paris PT's up there, Hercules Technologies. I'll have a bit of chat about that later. He's was working with Jordan Earl this year, so very close relationship with Jordan, and so yeah, it's quite nice having talk to him, and interesting seeing both of you on the same stage. But great team that he's had this year, so good being part of that. I think most people in the bodybuilding circles probably know Paris as the biggest guy on stage for the last X amount of years. So welcome on board, Paris.
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys. I really appreciate it. And it's really cool that you guys have got this going on. Like, there's nothing been like this on really in New Zealand. So it's really cool what you guys are doing. So yeah, keep it up. Yeah, you're doing a really good job.
Thank you.
Like, share, subscribe. Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. So I train on the North Shore, but I actually work out of St. Luke's Anytime Fitness. So that's like Morningside. So that's west, out west. Yeah.
The Wild West. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, I've put together a little presentation just for people to see a bit of your background. So
Cool.
We'll have a flick through that, eh? And I'll
Sweet, cool.
Gotta work out how to do this now. First up.
You found all the good words.
Now, what's all this about, Paris? I mean, we've got He-Man over here and Conan.
Man, so my partner of 5 years, she used to bodybuild when we got together, and she finished competing last year. I think she won for overalls and figure for Matthias show.
Yeah.
And ever since then, she still trains, but she's got other hobbies. Anyway, this is one of her other hobbies.
Awesome, bro.
Yeah, so we go to Armageddon. So we went to Armageddon. Do you know what that is? It's the expo.
Yeah, bro. How good is Armageddon? Armageddon is like,
it's funny, bro. Yeah.
So good. I love it.
It's literally 20% really, really hot chicks wearing nothing, and then 80% just fat nerds. It's funny, man.
Oh, gold. Hey, man, it must be nice having the physique and being able to do that, because I'm sure there's probably a bunch of that 80% that would have loved to come as He-Man and had to dress up as a Furby or something. I don't know.
Bro, they always think I'm wearing like a muscle suit. Like, no shit. They don't think it's real.
Oh, wow. Oh, well, hey.
Yeah. Like they really think it's not real.
Well, it's not surprising. You don't see too many dudes walking around like that, right? Especially at those things.
Yeah. It might be the wig that confuses them. Yeah.
I think not many people probably know, unless you know Mike pretty well. He's a bit of a geek too. He's a Star Trekkie from way back.
I wore my Star Trek t-shirt just and
very good.
Oh,
very good.
Sick. There we go.
Oh, and there's the old Conan tattoo as well. I named my eldest son Conan. And when I posted the picture on Facebook, the first thing Nate commented back is, "Look, better if you're rolling 21s." He's right.
I can't see a tattoo. Is it the sword or what? It's
the sword with the Conan.
That's pretty sick, bro. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah.
Oh, and actually, while we're on geeky stuff, I've got that's my other son Riker on the back.
Yeah.
The, Star Trek symbol.
I got a sword. Can you see this?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so I got a sword in earlier this year. So that was pretty cool. But it has no meaning. It's just like a fucking cool sword with a dragon.
Hey, swords are cool, man. Like
swords are cool, yeah.
When I was running New Zealand's Strongest Man, Hawke's Bay Strongest Man, I put a trophy together and got a big Excalibur replica, and it was a fantastic prize, I reckon. And I noticed they're starting to do that in bodybuilding now. I saw man holding up a great big sword, and I was like, how cool is that?
My missus was like, just said, if you go on the podcast, you should say, Mo should start awarding people swords, and people would fucking love that. Like, it's so cool. Like, the sword is like the coolest medal or trophy because you just pose with it after.
As long as they only give it to the first place people, because if there's some sore losers with a great big, could go real bad.
Pretty true, yeah.
For the judges, for the other contestants, yeah.
Yeah.
Crack up.
Right, so I had a bit of a flick back, and
you did.
Way back when you were 104 kilos, so quite some time ago. I think about at least 6 years ago. You know, you benched 175 back then. I've got a photo of you in GPC pulling 300 odd. Oh, sorry, excuse me. I can count that again. Start that again. Yeah, so about 6 years ago, pulled benched 175 and did a 300 odd deadlift. I saw a photo of you having a crack at 310. So you obviously really, you know, you're a really strong guy early on. How did you get that? How did you get that strength, or was it always there?
So I started lifting for rugby actually. So I'm from Wales. I'm from the UK. Yeah. So it was all for rugby, man. So you probably know in the UK, for rugby players, like they lift, they like go a bit harder in the gym. You know, it's like they place more emphasis on that. So to get into the first 15, you had the bench, squat, and deadlift. And we just went super hard on that, and I just fell in love with it. And it was all for rugby. It was all for rugby. Like everyone was super strong. Like there was a really good competitive environment with like how much you could squat. How it was like all squat, deadlift, bench. It was like if you were caught bicep curling, which I was when I first got there, you just got like shat on. Like everyone made fun of you. Yeah.
I found out one of your other secrets too, actually.
Oh my God.
I was on your Instagram having a stalk, and I thought, how the fuck does he get so big? And I found your secret right there, buddy. So, pussy diet.
It's true.
Hey, so these photos were, 2014.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I thought you looked a little bit like Mo in one of those photos. I was like, oh, that kind of look going.
That's when I after powerlifting, so I decided I wanted to get more into bodybuilding.
Yep.
So you can see all the photos in the background, but yeah, that was probably the first year I was like starting to take it seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah,
got some good pictures here. I can see Dorian Yates with the front double bicep and the Arnold side on pose.
Yeah, man. Always loved Dorian.
Yeah, gold, eh? And Mr. Curry, back then, I've got to say, when I saw him at the 2015 Expo, I was really not impressed at all. And
yeah, dude, yeah.
And 5 years on, you know, or 4 years on, he was the Mr. O, and there you're almost matching him for size. So
you know what he said then? He was just obsessed with my neck. He was like, what do you do for your neck? Your neck and your traps are huge. And I was like, fuck, nothing.
Oh, gold. Probably maybe a rugby. What position did you play rugby?
So I used to play loose prop.
Yeah.
And then in rugby league, I played both. So league, I played second row.
Yep.
And yeah, so I moved over here because my goal was to play professionally. And I ruptured my ACL. Like fully, so I had a full knee reconstruction, and I was playing afterwards, but I just noticed one leg was bigger than the other.
Yeah.
And then it just took so long to come back playing. By the time I was 23, so I was like, I'm probably never gonna make it. So I just started to put all my effort into the gym.
Oh wow! I didn't realize you had a rugby league background.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Not for very long, mainly union, but I think I was definitely better at league because there's probably less thinking involved. So you just run it. Yeah.
I put a little lineup together. I think I've got the dates right. So 216 there. That first show, is it?
Yes. Yeah. That was Auckland.
Nice. What were you sitting at on stage then?
I was still over 100.
Yep.
That was a funny prep. I think do you know Geordie Shields?
Yeah.
First helped me with bodybuilding. So he helped me on that prep. But it was a funny one. I remember I was actually in pretty good shape a week or 2 weeks before. I did like keto, and I was really lean. And then but Geordie had this he had me do this insane carb up, and it lasted like a week because I think he thought I was leaner than I was.
Yeah.
But he obviously wanted me to be like blasting full.
Yeah.
And the carb up, bro, was like, you started on Tuesday or something like that. And they were like these cookies, which I think like Dennis Wolf made. And the ingredients was like glucose and all this shit. So like all the simple sugars.
Yeah.
And bro, by Thursday, I like fully spilled over. And I was like, fuck.
So you have to try and pull it back in the last 2 days. Not much fun.
Yeah, no, it didn't work, but it was a learning experience. Yeah.
Cool. And then obviously made some big improvements in the off season that year, going into 217. So
yeah. I think that was I actually did pro-am after that. Yeah. So
yeah.
I think this is nationals though.
Yeah. Was
yes.
217? Was that Tom's year that Tom Shaw won? Can't remember.
I can't remember, man.
Where's Mike Kingsnorth when we need him?
Yeah. I don't think it was, bro. I think it might have been the small shredded natural guy.
Oh, Dan Hibbs.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And then 218, obviously, you came in looking a lot leaner. 218, I think.
Yeah, that was a good one. So that was my first year with Steve. So I worked with Steve Auden for 2 years. That was probably the first time, because I did an off season with Steve, and then 2018 and 19 with Steve.
Yep.
But that was the first time I actually did like a full off season, like structured, because all the other off seasons I just ate whatever in the caloric surplus and lifted heavy. But it was the first off season where we were like, okay, you need to work on this, eat proper clean meals. And but yeah, it was and I actually came in decent shape for that.
And that was you got picked by Denver, or were Denver in your class?
Yeah, so it was a really good lineup. So it was in my class. It was Denver, me, Jakarta. I don't know if you know Jakarta. He was this huge white shredded South African guy. Like he was really good. He worked with Steve too. He was nuts, man. And another guy, I can't remember who the other guy was. I didn't see that show, but that would have been fantastic to see a good stacked lineup of heavyweight bodybuilders on stage. Been a while. It was good. It was mean, bro. Yeah, it was really fun, that one. Yeah.
Right. 219. 219. You came in looking pretty sharp in 219, but definitely 220. Like when you walked out this year, I said, that's the best I have ever seen Paris look condition-wise. You know, like,
thanks, bro.
Yeah, I was really impressed. The first thing I think I noticed was the glutes. I went, oh, he's got his glutes right. Yeah,
that's good to hear, bro.
Yeah,
2019 was a funny one. Sorry to interrupt, but 2019 was interesting. I think so. Denver won, right? And then people were just blowing smoke at my ass, like, oh, it's you, like you're gonna take it, like, and then they got to my head, and I definitely played the size game too much in the 2019 prep. I was just like doing things in the prep which I shouldn't be doing, not with food, but like other things, just to get big. Like all I cared about was size, and it didn't go well. I did Wellingtons before nationals, and that was a shit show. That was like one of my worst shows, Wellingtons. But then I pushed really hard. Sorry, what was that?
Wellington was you, Ant, and Ryan.
Yeah. Fuck, Ryan was so big, man. Yeah. And then Matthias won his pro card in 2019. Yeah.
That's my one claim to fame, is that I've beat Matthias before.
Have you?
Well, this is his first show, and all I remember was when he came out, he was 18 years old, and I was talking to the guy next to me, and I said, if that guy can nail his conditioning, he is going to be unstoppable. And long story short, I bumped into an old friend, and he said, do you follow Matthias? And I said, yeah, on Instagram. I don't know the guy or anything. He said, oh, well, he lost his first show, and took it to heart, and he just buried himself and trained and trained and trained. And my mate was laughing, and I said, what? And he said it was the top of the South, and I went, oh, he was a big teenager. And so apparently he just buried himself for 3 or 4 years and managed to nail that conditioning, and as per prediction, he was pretty phenomenal and unstoppable that year.
I was like, fuck's sake, where did this guy come from? Like, like what the fuck? Like, literally, his insertions were quite similar to Phil Heath.
Yeah.
And he had the fucking shaved head as well. I was like, fuck. because Ryan pulled out of nationals.
Yep.
So I was like, oh, okay, mean. And then then Matthias won South Island, and I was like, oh, fuck. Like, who the fuck is this guy?
And it was, because I didn't even put 2 and 2 together and realise it was the same person. And when I saw the photos of him on stage, I'm like, where the fuck did this guy come from?
He looked crazy as a teenager, though, bro. Because I've seen those photos. If you look at my photos of my first show and compare them to Matthias's, you can say, what the fuck? Like, you can see all his potential.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there was, as I said, when I saw him, I just went, if this guy can sort his conditioning, he is going to kill it. And, well, certainly did. So I mean, that was a tough year. But, this year, I think you nailed it. And, it was a good lineup this year. It was a tough lineup,
Yeah, it was good, man. It was a funny year with COVID and everything, but it's really cool that it turned out to be a really competitive show this year. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Hey, I think, Mike, you want to have some questions about the size thing?
Yeah, man. You're a large man. So how tall are you? What's your off-season sort of weight at the moment, and what did you come into nationals at?
So I'm 5'11". Off-season varies. So right now I'm the heaviest I've ever been in my life, which is pretty cool. So I'm 128. Last off-season, I started working with Jordan Earl in December, and we pushed to 127, but it was a hard 127, man. Like I was like struggling to like maintain that. I'd like miss a meal and then drop the weight, but I can easily sit at 124, 125 pretty easy. But 128 now, and still quite lean. So I think we want to keep this condition, keep an eye on things, and then just push to 130, 135. Yeah.
Trust me, I've been a big bloated 130, and it's not fun, you puffed around your shoelaces.
Bro, like it's really it's like just a kilo away, you've just got to. Yeah, I think that keeping the cardio in, making sure digestion's really good. I checked him with Jordan today, and he told me off. He was like, "We're pulling things back." Yeah, so he's really good like that. Like he will keep me in check. He's not just like, "Oh fuck yeah, you're massive. This is great." He's like, "Okay, you're very soft. We need to," because it's good because he's health conscious, Yeah. That's really important. Like if you can't breathe, like doing up your shoes
or sleep.
Yeah, bro. Like I've been struggling with sleep, to be honest. Yeah, my sleep hasn't been great. So that's just because the weights come on too fast. Yeah. So we're trying to pull things back a bit. But yeah, what did I come in this comp? I was just under 111 morning weight. And then when I weighed in for like the weigh-ins on Friday, that was after like 10 liters of water, or however many water I drank, and food. So that was 114.5 in the evening. Yeah. Hey, so
you mentioned gut health. You touched on that. Do you want to give us your thoughts on that?
I think it's super important, bro. Like only working with Jordan, I've never really focused on it. And I think because I posted double bicep comparison over the years, and in the past when I was just pushing food, I remember just being so bloated, farting heaps, man. Like really uncomfortable. I get like acid reflux really bad. Yeah, so just focus like fiber, just taking the fiber supplement in the morning, just psyllium husk, sometimes apple cider vinegar, and just eating foods which agree with me. Whereas in the past, I would like eat something, it wouldn't agree with me, but I just wouldn't, like notice it. So I think that's important. You've got to be able to like absorb, this is like, you got to be able to absorb the nutrients. Otherwise, what's the point? Like, it's just like not being utilized.
Yeah, I think two important things there. Sorry, Mike, I'll head over to you. So two important things there for people to sort of get hold of is one, the absorption, and that can be a real limiting factor, as well as the bloat, that you get, and the the carryover. If you, particularly pre-competition, if you're having something that doesn't agree with you, it shows on stage.
Totally, man. Yeah, 100%.
And do you think that's the types of food that didn't agree with you, or an insulin sensitivity issue, or more about
Both.
food than
Both, yeah.
So you go into sort of mini cuts and things like that, or mini cuts or keto for a little while or whatever to regain your insulin sensitivity?
No, we haven't had to. So with Jordan, we just started eating cleaner and noticing foods which I agreed with, and we didn't have to go into a mini cut. Like I think because I've competed every year for 5 years, I almost haven't had time to go into a mini cut. Yeah. Whereas this time I am going to have a few years off, so I will probably at some stage do a mini cut. Yeah.
So I went and got myself a blood glucose monitor from the pharmacy. Costs.
Cool. Yeah, I've got one too.
Yeah, and I sort of use fasting blood sugars. So my plan is that when those start getting out of range a little bit, go or something for 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, man, that's a good idea. Yeah. Sick.
So look, I'm 6'2", and I've got as high as 130 and competed at 109, but still nothing like 5'11" and 115. So can you maybe give us a little bit of a quick summary of the roadmap of how you went from what we saw in 2014 to what we saw in 2020? The quick summary of how you grew. Did you go into a dirty bulk for a while early on, or how did that all work?
I think I slowly phased out the dirty bulks. So I think just going back even further, when I was younger, when I started, I was like 16, 17, I was like a hard gainer. I was like really pretty shredded, and everything I ate, I would just like, my metabolism was super fast. So I used to like bulk, like dirty bulk, like hard. And I think as I've gotten bigger, digestion's become more important. Yeah, I have had to clean it.
Well, if you dirty bulk from where you are now, you'd be 140, 145. That's not really fun to carry around.
Yeah, bro. But like, I wouldn't even be able to train properly, Like, I wouldn't be able to do deadlifts or anything.
And the extra calories you're burning just by carrying that extra weight around, you've got to eat more food to support the more weight, right? So
100%, man. Yeah. I think as well, just focusing on training performance and like where your weak points are, and getting really, really strong in exercises which you agree with you and that you can connect with. So like my posterior chain's always been a weakness, hamstrings, glutes, back. That was my first feedback ever from my first few shows, like development and condition. Like from the front, they always said it was great. From the side, kind of okay. And then from the back, nothing. So like, it's always been a focal point. So just making sure those areas are growing rather than just getting big all over, because that's what I've done in the past. I've just gotten big. If you just get big all over and you're just still a shit version of what you were before,
strong points get stronger, weak points stay weak.
Yeah, and bro, that kind of happened a little bit in 2020 from last year, because my back and hamstrings did improve and my arms, but I still trained shoulders hard, and my delts still got even bigger, and then you couldn't really see all the improvements I made. But yeah, so I think knowing even when to pull back on some things and then when to push on others.
Must be hard to do that because you've got a fantastic set of delts. But I think even if I had a set of delts like that, I'd still want to keep smashing and smashing them, particularly cool, you know.
Yeah. Because they look good in a t-shirt and a singlet. But so for example, my legs, like all prep, we were like, oh, quad size isn't going to be a problem. Like leg size isn't going to be a problem. And then on stage, when I was next to everyone, it was just like delts, and then you couldn't even see any quad sweep. It was just like, yeah, I got kind of big legs, but it literally took away from all my quad sweep because my shoulder width was out here, and I was like, fuck, all those hack squats, all those, because me and Jordan trained legs like fucking hard, and I was like so gutted, like you couldn't see any of the quad sweep, and I was like, fuck.
It's almost like, you know, and I think it'll be very hard for most bodybuilders is put the ego to one side, listen to someone else who's giving you real objective feedback and take that on board and action it, which is real hard to do, I think, you know?
It is really hard. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so as a larger bodybuilder, you know, coming into the show, I've heard it described like trying to land a jumbo jet. And if you come in hot, you know, it's pretty hard to hit that runway. I know working with Jordan, he would have been pretty meticulous in his planning, would have brought you in pretty slowly. Is that what sort of happened this year in 2020, brought you in nice and slow?
Yeah, so this was our first proper like prep together. So this is the first time. Yeah, it was a long prep. We did like a long off season. Then we did like a bit of a break over the first lockdown, which was really good. Just like cleaned out and everything, and then started prep from there. But yeah, there was probably from the 3-week out mark, things didn't go as planned. And I think that was more me a little bit burnt out mentally, to be honest. I was starting not to give a shit, if I'm honest. Like, yeah, and it was like a huge combination. It was like people were blowing smoke at my ass. Like everyone was messaging me like, oh, let's train when you get your pro card, or what are we going to train when you get your pro card, or you've got this easy. I heard you're just going to walk in and get your pro card, and then I just didn't know who else, you know what I mean? And it was just like, I was getting a bit boring, to be honest. I was like, fuck, I've been doing this for 5 years. And then because I'm a PT, what ended up happening is I'm usually 6 to 10 sessions a day. And then when you're that last 3 weeks, I couldn't do more than 2 to 3 sessions a day. Just me personally, I just would underperform training my clients. So I would just keep them to a minimum, and then my income goes down. And then I think that last 3 weeks was where it showed just that 5 years. Like I need a good 2 years off to like push and be like mentally strong for that last bit. Yeah.
So in that last sort of 24 hours or so going into the show and on show day, you feel like it's more difficult as a larger bodybuilder to kind of get that water and the carbs right, hold that conditioning throughout the day?
Bro, I hate it. I hate it so much. every single the day before about 24 hours, I've never enjoyed it. Like I never ever looked as good as I have 2 weeks or a week before. Yeah, this was the best look I've brought by far, but still, like I still think I look better. Yeah, and it's kind of like you get the tan on, right? And then it blurs everything, so it's like, fuck, what do I look like? And then you're doing the water loading, and then you know what I mean? Like I don't do very well the 24 hours before. I don't do very well with the stress. Yeah, I saw Jordan on the Friday night. It was watery as fuck. Like, and I could tell he was like, shit, this isn't good. Like, yeah, and he was like, fuck. And then he made me eat like so many potatoes, and it was horrible. So he just like cut water, heaps of potatoes, took a diuretic, and woke up in the morning, and I fucking just fixed it. Like, I just was dry as fuck. And I was like, fuck, he's going to make me eat more potatoes. I'm so sick of potatoes, man. Like, I had to eat all those potatoes, like a kilo of potatoes with no water, no salt. Yeah.
Gold. Hey, what I might do is drag up your Instagram because there's a couple of things on there I want to have a bit of a squiz at. Right. So for those that haven't followed Paris, his Instagram Operation Paris here, sponsored by Spritfins, I see.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
How long have you been with him?
Just after Nationals. So Jordan Mill actually helped. He helped link me up with that. So thanks, awesome. Jordan. Yeah, awesome. He's linking a few people up with sponsors.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
I just want to. I had to have a look at this.
Have you seen this? This is good. So this is when the cable breaks and yeah. I got concussed from that. So this is when we had a Graston guy come to our gym, and I sat on the chair and it broke.
Oh, gold.
Oh, it was really good. It was really good.
Now, I think you knew this was coming, but
oh yeah,
you did a bit of acting there.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. Oh God. So this is funny. So this is actually a week after the first lockdown. So I just shaved all my hair off and was pretty out of shape. So I had to fix it all in 1 week.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was a good little cameo there, really, to put you on TV. And I think a lot of people were asking, is he actually a porn star?
Bro, the gay community is obsessed with me.
Fans are fans, bro. All good. But yeah, you got a lot of exposure from that though. It must have been a real good experience to do.
It was
unintended.
And we actually filmed the second one 3 weeks ago.
We're going to see another one.
Yeah, bro. So it's like a 2.0 one.
You brought a different look to that one, I'd imagine, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, definitely bigger with more hair, but it's really funny actually. You guys are gonna like it.
Can't wait. Right. So he's off season 2020.
No, this is actually 8 weeks out.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You tricked me there. Posted it a day ago.
Well, I said 8 weeks out. Yeah. Just got to read.
Reading's not my strong point.
No.
What's this one? Is this one here?
Yeah, this is I think three weeks out. Yeah.
Yeah. Those hamstrings are looking pretty knotty there, eh?
Thanks, man. Yeah. We've always definitely the whole back have struggled to get in condition, but each show it's come tighter and tighter. So.
Where's your latest photo off season?
So if you the back lat spread was the other week.
Whoa, looking nice and full there, bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Wicked. How's the pumps post comp?
The pumps are fucked, man. They're really fucked. Like I have to be really careful. How much salt I put on. I've had to stop having pre-workouts which have too much pump formula in. Yeah. Because my forearms are just explode.
Oh wow! You getting the lower back pump and things as well, kicking in.
Yeah, totally, man. Yeah.
Yeah, tough on that one. I don't know the answer to that. Some people say,
it's definitely water. It's definitely water. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good. Well, I can't wait to see what the rest of the off season brings.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, man. What's the plans going forward?
So we're doing a bit of we've been doing a rebound. That's probably going to finish just around Christmas, and then we're going to have a good clean out over Christmas.
Yeah.
Get some blood tests and some blood markers and some good ranges, and then in terms of the show, I'm not sure yet, man. I definitely need at least 1 year. I'm probably thinking 2 years, But I have some other goals. So before the end of the year, I want to hit a 350 kilo deadlift.
Nice.
Yes. Yeah. So that's a goal. And then, I really want to hit that by the end of the year. Word
of advice: use straps and go double overhand because we don't want to see you.
Yeah.
We don't want to see a bicep go, bro.
Bro, I actually can't supinate this. I haven't got the range of motion. Yeah. And it's funny. I actually can't. This is bad, but I can't even wear my belt.
Just to what?
It doesn't fit anymore.
Ooh.
Yeah. I've been seeing on people's stories like, oh, I still fit the smallest hole on my belt, and I'm like, fuck, I can't even wear mine because I can't bend down and breathe.
Yeah.
I told Jordan that, and he was like, yeah, that's bad. Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah.
So you're going to sort of have a pseudo play around with sort of powerlifting movements in the short term? Is that the...
Definitely the deadlift. Yeah. I'm not going to go back to powerlifting. I'm still going to do like because I haven't done like a full, every time I've, it's been an off season, then a comp.
Yep.
Yeah. So like, it'd be good to just do like off season, clean out, off season, mini cut, off season, you know what I mean? For like a year or 2 years. And I don't want to rush it. I kind of feel like since 2016, it probably has been a little bit rushed, you know? Yeah. So like, I don't want to rush things. I have put on quite a lot of size, and that kind of shows in some poses with definition.
Yeah.
Like I would like to have more striations and stuff, because when I cut down, like sometimes I just look like a big veiny ball sack. I'm like, fuck, where are the lines? I'm just like, fuck, I look like a bull. I wish there was more. So just maybe grow into my size more, you know? Yeah.
Right. Hey, is there anyone you want to shout out to? I know you want to shout out to your gorgeous partner, and she's been a real rock for you. It's cool seeing it, you know, another real rock solid couple that support each other through the goals. So I know you want to shout out to her, but other people as well that you want to shout out to and, you know, give some kudos to?
Yeah, definitely my coach, Jordan, who's also the same name as my partner. Yeah, it's good. Don't get that confused. No, so he's just been awesome, man, like dealing with my shit. This prep just gone, especially like it didn't turn out how we wanted to, you know? Yeah, and then I think maybe there's been a lot of weird stuff going on with other coaches, messaging who's the best coach and all. Yeah, I don't know if you're aware of that. It's quite funny, but he definitely deserves a lot of credit because I think he is one of the best coaches by far in New Zealand. Yeah. Who else? You guys for making this amazing podcast. And did you get Jamie the Giant on?
Yeah, we did. So if you flick, you able to listen to his words of
wow.
Yeah.
How amazing is his physique, bro? Yeah, fuck.
No words.
It's hard to fill in 6'2", try 6'5".
Is he your coach, Mike?
No, Nathan.
No, my coach. Yeah.
I'm sort of tossing up. I probably need a coach, but haven't got one at the moment.
Yeah, who are you?
I probably have to commit to my goals if I had a coach.
Yeah. How his front lat spread's insane, man.
Yeah.
Jamie's.
Yeah, I think people are probably struggling to just comprehend how much mass he's actually got because he's so tall. You know, they think, you know, he's a big guy, but when you look at him, and I always think to him, I always have a joke with him about it, I'm like, God gave you two people's clavicles, man. Like he's just that wide, you know. And once people kind of get their head around it, and he's he's really got a good profile now, having done those 2 pro shows and coming forth and looking better each show. So I think
Totally, yeah.
next year is going to be a real big year for him. But it's quite cool to be part of that. And
I'll make sure I listen to that one.
Yeah,
I don't know how I missed it. Yeah. And a shout out to my sponsor as well, Sprint Fit, obviously, for having my back. It definitely helps. Like, every little bit helps. You know how it is when you're eating heaps and having just the supplements available. And what's cool about them, they just have they have like some good health subs as well. You know, so I've been using 5% Rich Piana's brand.
Yep.
They stock his liver and kidney health supplement.
What's in the kidney one? Because that's probably the one health supplement that I haven't got. I've got God knows how many different ones.
I'll screenshot it, bro, and send it to you. I haven't got it on me now, but it's called liver and kidney, and it's really good, bro. It's got off the top of my head, it's got NAC in it, N-acetylcholine. It's got milk thistle, heaps of vitamin D. It's got hawthorn berry. So it's got things for blood pressure, obviously kidney. So yeah, it's really good, and it's like an all-in-one, you know.
Because I just saw today actually, James Hollings he was having a NAC infusion with I think it was So
NAC's really good, bro. Like, I really rate it. It's really good for your skin too, man. Like, yeah.
Could use that in my old age, bro. Those
right, you get some like kilos of it in there.
Yeah. Oh, hey man, look, really good talking to you, and look, we'll get you on again at some stage when we just have a general wrap about things with the boys and talk some shit. But thank you very much, and we'll touch base with you soon, eh?
Cool. Thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it was good chatting to you guys.
Awesome. Okay, people, stay safe out there, and we'll catch you up next week. We've got a big week next week, lots of interviews, so we'll see you then.
Sweet. Peace out.